The Great Migration is one of the biggest migrations in American history. It was the relocation of more than 6 million African Americans from the South into the cities of the Midwest, the North, and even the South through 1916 through 1970. Reasonings for the Great Migration was lack of opportunities, harsh segregation laws, poor economic conditions, and fear of being lynched and killed by the Ku Klux Klan. The South was very hard for black people. They would often be limited to certain jobs as sharecroppers and tenants, farmers, and laborers, which were other types of slavery. African Americans took advantage of much needed industrial work that was needed during the First World War. Businesses in the North faced little workers to work in the factories, and African Americans filled those spots. After they came from the South, African Americans built new places for themselves. They started to build their own community in these cities, and for the first time, they felt free. To name one city, Detroit was receiving 400,000 African Americans a month. Black populations exploded within these cities. They found better jobs that they had in the South. They worked in factories, slaughterhouses, and for big corporations. By the end of 1919, over 1 million African Americans left the South. They tried to get up north any way they possibly could, but there were some challenges that awaited them as they arrived in these cities. Racism was not uncommon in the North. A lot of northern whites didn't like the fact that African Americans in large numbers were coming to these cities. Some even agreed not to sell their home or even rent their home to them. Even though in 1917 the Supreme Court declared racially based housing ordinance was unconstitutional, they still often would occur. So because of discrimination in the housing industry, African Americans created their own city within big cities like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and even Detroit. The Great Migration ended in 1970, and it impacted the North and gave much needed opportunities for African Americans coming from an oppressed South. The Great Migration is one of the largest in United States history, and it forever changed the entire nation. I really hope you liked this video. For more content, please like and subscribe.